Very good evening and welcome to the national broadcast. I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news. Chinese president agrees to further enhance the bilateral cooperation with Sri Lanka. A draft bill on the amendment to the Provincial Council electoral system. 600,000 COVID-19 vaccines from China expected to arrive in the country tomorrow. Vietnam to assist on the investment and trade promotion in Sri Lanka. Now for those and other stories in detail. President of China Xi Jinping has agreed to strengthen and enhance mutually beneficial bilateral cooperation in all fields. He made these remarks in a telephone conversation with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday. The Chinese president stated that the government of China will continue to support in achieving sustainable development goals of Sri Lanka and will stand firm with Sri Lanka in the face of the unjust pressure it faces in the multilateral arena. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who spoke to his Chinese counterpart from the Presidential Secretariat, expressed his heartfelt gratitude to President Xi Jinping and the government of China for extending their fuller support to Sri Lanka at the recently concluded 46th session of the UN Human Rights Council. President Rajapaksa also thanked for donating 600,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine to Sri Lanka. The Chinese leader began the conversation offering his best wishes for the forthcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year and said that even though COVID-19 pandemic was a formidable challenge, it helped to take the China-Sri Lanka relations to a new height. The Chinese president added that the port city of Colombo and the port of Hambantota are two major projects that have great potential to contribute to the socio-economic development of Sri Lanka. He also said that the port city will help greatly to expand foreign investment opportunities and as a solution to the issue of unemployment. President Rajapaksa noted that the Hambantota port and other infrastructure development projects are progressing satisfactorily and requested the Chinese government to complete the remaining work on the projects expeditiously. President Rajapaksa said he intends to do what is necessary for the prosperity and development of Sri Lanka during the remaining 4 years of his tenure. He said that poverty alleviation is the primary objective of the government and will follow the example of China in this regard. The Chinese leader, expressing his willingness to support the poverty alleviation programs in Sri Lanka, said that in the past few years, 9 million people in his country have been lifted out of poverty. Recalling his visit to Sri Lanka in 2014, Xi Jinping said that he would like to see the President Rajapaksa undertaking a state visit to China as soon as possible. President Rajapaksa said that he was unable to visit China as scheduled due to the COVID-19 pandemic and added that he wished to visit China at a mutually convenient time. The Chinese president, emphasizing the need to further enhance the strategic approach to Sri Lanka-China relations with visible results, pointed out the importance of developing people-to-people relations between the two countries. During the phone call with the Chinese leader, President Rajapaksa appreciated the currency swap facility provided by the People's Bank of China to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and said it would definitely help to ensure the financial stability of Sri Lanka. President Rajapaksa, who sought China's continued support for the establishment of a technical university in Hambantota as a symbol of Sri Lanka-China friendship, congratulated China on the 100th anniversary of founding of Chinese Communist Party.
Core Cabinet spokesman Minister Udaya Gammanpila says that the draft bill on the amendment to the provincial electoral system has been presented to the Cabinet of Ministers. The Cabinet of Ministers have reached a decision to convene a party leaders meeting to discuss on several issues pertaining to the draft bill. These remarks were made during a media briefing held today at the Department of Government Information to announce the Cabinet decisions. Core Cabinet spokesman Udaya Gammanpila said that a proposal has been presented to increase the number of provincial council seats up to 2 bonus seats for each district in province instead of 2 bonus seats granted for the party which gained the highest votes in the province. Accordingly, he said the draft bill has proposed to elect 70% of councillors based on divisional system and the other 30 proportional representation system. He said that the President have reached a decision to convene a party leaders meeting to reach a final decision in this regard. The Cabinet of Ministers have granted approval for the construction of a railway line system built on pillars covering the Colombo urban limits. The project will be initiated as a public-private partnership. Under this project, 4 railway lines will be constructed and those lines will be named as red, green, blue and purple. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval for the implementation of the second phase of the E-Grama Niladhari project. This project is currently in process under the State Ministry of Internal Affairs with the advisory assistance from Sri Lanka Information Technology and Communication Agency. The Cabinet of Ministers have also granted approval for the implementation of flood minimizing project identified by the Sri Lanka Land Development Corporation.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has commenced obtaining samples from coconut oil available in supermarkets and wholesale trading outlets under various brand names. The aim of this initiative is to determine the standards of the coconut oil available for trading. Accordingly, raids were carried out in wholesale trading outlets for coconut oil in Peta and Gaspar areas. The aim of this initiative is to provide high-quality coconut oil for the consumers during the festive season. Meanwhile, the police has taken 2 bowsers of allegedly unrefined coconut oil containing carcinogenous to yesterday. The 2 bowsers of 55,000 litres of coconut oil expected to be handed over to customs for further inquiries. Meanwhile, Minister Ramesh Patrana said that the imported consignment of unrefined coconut oil consisted of carcinogens currently in the custody of customs has not been released to the market.
4 winners of the lottery draw, Super Bowl and Luck Navasana of the Development Lotteries Board received their respective cheques today. The relevant cheques were presented by the Secretary to the Prime Minister Gamini Senarath at the Temple Trees. A resident of Kakirawa, KG Roshan, won the jackpot of the 1,403rd draw of the Super Bowl lottery amounting up to 75,412,110 rupees. The winnings of the 3,096th draw of Laknavasana lottery was received by Aryadasa, a resident of Hingurana, which amounted up to 2,454,571 rupees. Meanwhile, HP Susantha, resident of Kadavata, won the 3,098 draw of Laknavasana with a prize amounting of 2,230,396 rupees. Resident of Kandy, HG Piris, received the prize money for the 3,089 draw of Laknavasana amounting up to 2,347,887 rupees. Chairman of the Development Lotteries Board, Amita Gamage, was also present at this occasion.
Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Ramesh Patrana says that the 600,000 doses of Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine consignment, which is a grant from the Chinese government to Sri Lanka, is expected to arrive in the country by tomorrow morning. The minister said that the first stock of vaccines of the overall consignment will be administered to Chinese nationals in the country. Subsequently, Minister Ramesh Patrana said that the following an analysis of the relevant documentations, the vaccine will be administered to the public in the country. A total of 903,467 have been vaccinated under the COVID-19 immunization program thus far. The vaccination program has been carried out for the 61st day today. A total of 9,102 persons were vaccinated yesterday. A total of 89,090 COVID-19 recoveries have been reported in the country. It is a percentage of 96.41%. Another 2,749 patients are undergoing treatment at present. Another 102 COVID-19 patients were detected in the island today. Meanwhile, 176 recovered COVID-19 patients have been discharged from the hospitals today. Meanwhile, 5 COVID-19 related deaths were reported yesterday. The victims have been identified as residents of Atulkote, Kandana, Colombo 15, Kaltura South and Colombo 13 areas. According to the joint World Health Organization and China study on the origins of COVID-19, the virus was likely to have transmitted in bats and spread to another animal before jumping into the human population. Furthermore, the report has further revealed that the virus was extremely unlikely to be a result of a leak in a lab.
The newly appointed ambassador of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, Ho Thi Than took to Sri Lanka presented her credentials to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Palace this morning. President Rajapaksa and the new Vietnamese ambassador thereafter exchanged views on the current status of bilateral relations and the development of future cooperation between the two countries. Conveying best wishes of the Vietnamese government and its people to the President Rajapaksa, Ambassador Ho Thi added that the Vietnam has made relations with Sri Lanka a top priority. Appreciating the long-standing friendship between Vietnam and Sri Lanka, the President briefed the ambassador on the social and economic vision of his government. The President said that agro-economic development, poverty alleviation and raising the income level of rural people are some of the priorities of the government, and plans are now in motion to achieve these goals. The President invited Vietnam to explore and take advantage of the investment opportunities in Sri Lanka economy, pointing that trade and tourism industries between two countries could be further developed. The Vietnamese ambassador assured that she would give higher priority to encourage Vietnamese entrepreneurs to invest in Sri Lanka and to develop trade and tourism sectors. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Secretary to the President P.B. Jasundara, Foreign Secretary Admiral Jainath Kolambage and Deputy Chief of Mission Vietnam Tran Thron Than were also present.
Steps have been taken to ban the production of 6 types of plastic and polythene-based products for local use from tomorrow. The Ministry of Environment has said that the exportation of such products has now been restricted through this initiative. The ban on single-use and short-term use plastic will include disposable polythene and polythene bottles, polythene used for the packaging of agrochemicals, lunch sheets less than 20 microns, sachet packets, inflatable plastic toys and cotton buds. Minister Mahinda Amaravira made this announcement during a media briefing held at the Ministry of Environment yesterday. The relevant Gazette notification was issued on January 21, 2021. Considering the request made by several companies, a short time period of 3 months has been given for the sale of the relevant products which have already been manufactured. And that's it for tonight's news. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.